Hey, it's Game Hydro. Today we're talking about Geometry Tower Idle Defense. This is actually a game I've been playing for quite a long time. Even wrote some articles about it on my old website, but have not done any YouTube videos about it yet. So I'm going to go over some tips, tricks, strategies, cheats, etc., etc., etc. about the game. All right, so obviously, first off, the red exclamation point represents you got something to claim for the most part, like a free prize, or sometimes you got something to look at. Obviously, here we got patrol money and stuff to claim. So we got tech points, coins, designs. These all allow you to upgrade your stuff. And of course, the game will often give you an offer to get an hour and a half of free stuff to watch an ad video. Normally, because upgrading and grinding is so important in the game, I would take that offer right away. But right now, I am not doing that because I am recording a video and I don't feel like editing it out. Bottom left corner, you got the quick raid. 1, 2, 3. That costs 5 energy apiece. And as you can see above, we got 4,644 out of 30 energy. This game gives you ridiculous amounts of free energy, so don't worry too much about using your energy. After you claim the 3 free ones, then you can get 3 more supported by ad videos. Yeah, the ad video thing can be a little egregious in this game, but because it's so grindy, it's good to know and good to have. So let's tap around, look at some other stuff. You got the Diamond Carnival. I'm going to tap that. Free diamonds. You got various different sign-in rewards. Make sure to tap the top bar as you fill it in. You got the heart that lets you revive in battle. That's the Resurgence Core. And then all this stuff is ad video stuff. Under VIP, are there any free rewards under VIP? Nope, that's just something to look at. Battle Pass, we got a reward there. So, we got 2 rewards there. And Booster Pass, we got the Fighter Jet Booster. So that'll allow us to upgrade. Speaking of upgrade, let's do that. First of all, upgrade our skills. We're going to tap on the logo that looks like a Shazam logo. And, I mean, seriously, that's an egregious ripoff right there. And we have a lot of skills that can be upgraded. Machine gun, I would argue, is the most important one. But I like any of these skills that have good splash damage. I don't like skills that just do single damage. So, little pro tip from me, the rifle is by far the most useless skill in the game because it only does single damage, but you can't aim it, even at bosses. Now, there's other upgrades that you can do to it once you get it that allow it to actually become useful, but to me, that's a little too much wasted time on something that's not useful. What do we want to upgrade next? I like the grenade. I like the black hole because that just bounces around and sucks things in, not the rifle. I'm just gonna save my stuff for later. You got Gold Frenzy and other special events like booster challenges. Dang, you can actually get quite a bit of rewards, and uncommon boosters. You know what? What the hell? I'll upgrade it. And hit this research button up above. You can sometimes hit ad videos in order to do free research, or you could just tap whatever the game suggests. Over here, chips is one of your more common ways to upgrade yourself, as well as upgrading the levels of your 6 equipment slots. Now, you can't get new equipment here, but you can level up. We got some skill boosters right here, Fighter Jet Booster. And you can even auto-merge chips together. So let's do that. We got 1 new chip. We see it somewhere around here. Honestly, the collection of chips is way too big, so who knows. Rare attack plus 20, plus 2 grade. Sprinkler damage plus 27. I like that better than crit damage. So once you get a lot of chips like this, you are going to have to kind of go through them one by one and figure out what you want to swap out by what will be more useful by your battle strategy. I like the overall attack boost because that literally works for pretty much anything. instead of just working for like one thing or two things. Like the sprinkler damage, that's very specific to the sprinkler. I like attack damage. That's specific to everything pretty much. What do we want? Rare chip of weapon. Another one that boosts the attack. What do we got here? Tons of stuff. And the higher the rarity of a chip, the higher the primary damage boost that it does. For example, you take a look at one of these purples right here. And the primary skill is attack plus 25. Epic weapon chip, attack plus 25. Rare chip, attack plus 20. So just by the fact of increasing the overall rarity of your stuff, matter of fact, I think I can do that right here. Machine gun damage plus 18. You know what? May not be worth it. All right, so we got two primary. All right. Oh, yeah, be sure to claim event stuff. We got two primary modes of battle right here. We got chapter by chapter battle, and over here, the little blue circle that says ends in so-and-so, we got the endless battle. We'll go over that a little bit later, but the endless battle allows you to not only have all skills unlocked right away instead of having them level blocked like the radiation orb over there. So that'll allow you to test stuff out even before you unlock it and figure out what strategy that you like the best. Plus, it will give you something to do when you get sick of grinding this main mode. But we're going to go to the main mode right now. It's been, honestly, probably a year since I played this game, so I don't know how much grinding I'm going to have left to do before I beat this entire level. Anyways, you can see the fast forward button up there. That, if you press it, will invite you to purchase the VIP membership. Now, of course, you can see advertisements down below sometimes. You can ignore them most of the time. I mean, you don't have pop-up ads everywhere, so that's kind of nice. But pro tip, if you're first playing this game and you don't want to get pseudo-pornographic ads or gambling ads, then as soon as Unity asks you for your age, put I'm 15 or younger, no matter what your age is. Then you'll get ads for things that are not scams or, NSFW Gooner games. You tend to get a lot of those on Unity if you put 16 or over. Which, I mean, some of it's kind of like a legal black hole. Speaking of black holes, we put the black hole down there. Look how much damage we are doing. Black holes are definitely good because they do big splash damage. They kind of wander around randomly, and they can go back over the same enemies over and over again in order to really crush them. But make sure to try to pick your skills based on what does the best splash damage. The splash damage is far more important than single-player damage because the mobs are far more dangerous than the bosses. Generally in this game, the bosses really only just sit there and act like bullet sponges, and then if you don't kill them in enough time, they start... Alright, grenade. I like the grenade. No, you know what? Black hole extended. The bosses act like bullet sponges, and after a while, they start moving around from side to side. But they don't really attack you, so there's not really a ton of danger there. The main danger there is from these mobs of little guys that constantly come after you. Zapmaster, one of the earliest unlocks, and arguably one of the best skills in the entire game because it just does ridiculous amounts of damage, and as you upgrade it, it bounces from enemy to enemy to enemy, and you can end up targeting like half the screen all at once. Multi-chain, just got multi-chain over and over. Okay, so if you put your thumb down on the screen or one of your fingers on the screen, you can manually target. That can be good for bosses. However, when you got mobs coming at you like this, sometimes it's best to allow the enemy targeting. What do I want? 100% damage? Yeah. Sometimes it's best to allow automatic targeting to allow the nearest threat to be taken care of automatically. Not always the best solution. There are times when you should use one solution over the other. And at the top left corner of the screen, you can see how much health he got left. All right, what do we want? Power Zap. Yeah, you can see how much health he got left. Your health will slowly run down.
Ready, set. Bring the football and the baseball.
And you want to try to stay alive before you get killed. However, probably isn't going to happen during this one. What do we want to do? Multi-shock. All right. I like multi-shock. That's an overall pretty good damage boost. But it looks like, despite all the splash damage, we still got a little bit of grinding to do. But you know what? Use those heart coins when you get them. And if you don't mind ad videos, use the emergency supply. I'm not using the emergency supply right now. Going to manually target this boss a bit because I believe when you kill the boss, you get a nice boost. There it is. All right. There's the reward. A second black hole's been added. So now all we got to deal with is the mobs without having to worry about targeting the boss. But looks like we might be a little bit cooked here. Chat, are we cooked? Yes, we are. Yes, I know I don't have a chat on my channel. Who gives a crap? All right. How to become stronger. Upgrade equipment equipment slots. Upgrade skills. Get chips. Get boosters. Thank you, Mr. Game Advice. There's almost no need for any of the tips in this video. All right. That's like 2 minutes of patrol. Who cares? So you're going to have to keep upgrading in order to get stronger. But we're going to go to the endless side of things. And the fun part about this is you get to start over. You get all the skills right from the jump. I like Zap Master the best, so I'm going to do Zap Master. However, the Radiation Orb I also really like. The Black Hole I also really like. In fact, those are quite literally probably my top 3 skills in the game, maybe the top 4. EMP is pretty good during the early rounds, but during the later rounds it doesn't really do a ton. The fighter jet, though, that can become very strong. The rifle, though, as we've said, always useless. Do we have more stuff we can claim over here? So, depending on which mode you like better, that is where you should save your diamonds for. Because the purchases you make over in the endless side, they will apply to the endless side. Guaranteed legendary Abyss chip in 10 opens. Let's do it. Why the hell not? Let's see if we can get some more legendary chips. That's some legendary chips. No ice cream right now, buddy.
It's over there.
We're going to have dessert when we head home today. We're going to have dessert when we head home today, okay? We're making a big dinner, a big lunch, and a big dessert.
It's over there.
All right, so add some better chips than we got before. That's going to increase the stats, and that is massively going... You know what? I'm going to spend another one because I want to go as far in an endless battle as possible. I'm not going to make all you watch... I don't know, 4 hours of the video, but make sure to use the ad video boost as well in order to get good free stuff. You can make a wish list. You can put your favorite S tier. You know what? I don't care. There we go. Favorite S tier has been added. Tap this and the damage stats will certainly look a lot different than they did on the OG round, especially if you're an old head player of the game. Help you in 5 minutes, buddy. Especially if you're an old head player of the game and you played and got a ton of boosts before the endless mode. All right. Obviously, if you've been playing this endless mode a little bit, the early rounds are going to be easier, and the later rounds are going to be far tougher, and they're going to get tougher really quickly. So kind of just let this ride for now. Get your upgrades and plan for the future as you get your upgrades. Multi-shot, always a good decision. I just barely picked that over Zapmaster because Zapmaster is also a really good decision. I don't even remember what the third option was, to be honest. Now, in endless mode, you got some upgrades that are a little bit more on the risky side. For example, there's an upgrade not showing here, but there is an upgrade that allows you to lower your hit points to 1 or 1%, something like that, in exchange for 2 extra skill draws. Now, obviously, that's mainly good to purchase in the early rounds, but in the later rounds, when you're about to get killed pretty quickly, you probably want to ignore that one. As you can see, that purple square, if that had hit us beforehand, that probably would have killed us if we did the 1% thing. Tunnel vision, decrease field of view. Why the hell would I want to do that? Now, obviously, you're not going to want to pick them when they happen, but sometimes there are skills that are like auto-picked here that will screw you over when they apply to you. So, when you get upgrades that allow you to, you know what, I'm going to risk it. Sacrifice of life. Heal hit points. Crushing Force Plus. So now we're not instant kill because the black hole is 100% more powerful than it was to begin with. Plus, we were able to boost the hit points a little bit, so it's not just a straight up instant kill the second we get hit. Power Zap Plus, always a good one.
Hey, Daddy.
What's up, buddy?
Can someone make a scene?
I'll help you with the swing in 2 minutes, okay? I'm almost done with this. All right. Letting my son know when I can do the swings. My daughter's sitting in here too, but she doesn't like to be heard on YouTube too much. All right, we're aiming at the boss, but probably going to get smoked pretty quickly, to be honest. Revive. There we go. Let's kill the boss. Halfway there. And all we got that's close to us is one of those stupid purple squares right now. Let's multi-chain the zap, see if we can make it extra effective, or at least effective enough to keep me alive long enough to kill the boss. Because if I kill the boss, I get a reward chest even when I die. And you want to rack up as many reward chests as you can. Pro tip, though, if you can't get anywhere on the current stage, try going back on one of the other stages and seeing if you got any chests you can claim. I'll show you what I mean. Back, you can go to Chapter 1. We got only 2 stars there. The 3rd star, you got to clear it with 80 points, 80 hit points, whatever. Go back to the regular geometry tower. And while we don't have any other chests to claim, look at the chapter treasures. See what's unclaimed. So you got 3 chests all the way through up until Chapter 14 when the 3rd chest isn't claimed. Over here, the way to claim that is by finishing with 95% of your hit points. And yes, if you do a hit point heal, if you're below that and you do a hit point heal and it goes up to that, then that still counts toward the chest. It doesn't matter what damage you took earlier in the level. It only matters what your hit points are when you finish the level. All right, and be sure to check your mail often because tons of rewards here. Hit claim all to claim them fast. And make sure to use these event stages in order to get some good rewards and good upgrade business. All right, this has been Game Hydro. Thank you for watching. I'm going to go swing my kid. Please like and subscribe if you like what we're doing with these videos.